In a small town of Grayson, there was an abandoned railway crossing known as Shadow Crossing. The locals warned that anyone who lingered there after midnight would encounter a dark, featureless figure. Legend had it that decades ago, a train derailed, killing everyone on board. Among the dead was a conductor who roamed the crossing, searching for souls to take into the afterlife. Some said the shadow would appear in the reflection of car mirrors. Others claimed they felt its icy grip when they tried to leave. One fateful night, a group of teenagers dared their friend Emily to prove the legend was fake. They drove to the crossing just before midnight, parking under the flickering street lamp. Emily, skeptical but brave, stepped out of the car with a flashlight in hand. The silence was suffocating, broken only by the distant sound of an owl. The others stayed in the car, nervously watching her approach the tracks. As Emily reached the tracks, the air grew unnaturally cold. Her breath fogged up in the summer night, and the flashlight began to flicker. She laughed nervously, calling out to her friends, "See? Nothing's here." But when she turned back toward them, the car's windows were fogged up, and a dark handprint was pressed against the driver's side. The friends screamed for Emily to run, but she froze as a shadow began to rise from the tracks. It was featureless, tall, and impossibly black, as if it absorbed all light around it. Its head turned slowly toward Emily, and although it had no face, she felt it staring straight through her soul. The air around her felt heavy, as though invisible hands were gripping her shoulders. Snapping out of her trance, Emily turned and sprinted back toward the car, her flashlight falling to the ground. The shadow followed, gliding silently across the ground. Her friends yanked the car doors open, screaming for her to hurry. Just as she reached the vehicle, the shadow stretched out an inky arm, its fingertips grazing her jacket. Emily dove into the car, and they sped off, leaving the crossing behind. For a moment, they thought they were safe, laughing nervously and swearing never to return. But as they turned onto the main road, Emily noticed something in the rearview mirror. A dark figure standing in the middle of the road, watching them. She quickly looked back, but it was gone. That night, Emily awoke to the sound of faint tapping on her bedroom window, followed by a whisper she would never forget. "You